Thanks for joining us for the news. Today we'll bring you news about a new effort to fight ISIS, new visa criteria, Trump's visit to Israel, gas prices, today's weather, sports, and much more.
From the Rademacher Hills to Bee Mountain and the mighty Sierras, Ridgecrest to Inyokern and China Lake, this is your news for the Indian Wells Valley with the KZGN News Crew.
Hello, I'm Tom Waitnick. Thanks for joining us for the news affecting Ridgecrest and the Indian Wells Valley. In news about controlling ISIS and immigration from the Middle East, Defense Secretary Carter appeared before Congress this morning to announce some new effort. He stated that the United States is establishing a new special forces team designed to help the Iraqi army take back territory from ISIS. The main effort is to retake Ramadi. U.S. forces will be assisting them in this effort. He did not describe exactly what this new special forces team will actually do, and he did allude to that it would be nice if the international team would provide some support to this effort as well. But as of now, that help is not forthcoming. He stated that additional aircraft have also been stationed in Turkey to step up the airstrikes against ISIS. So far, he states coalition air forces have knocked out 400 ISIS truck tankers. They now have better intelligence as to ISIS targets on the ground. They have stepped up attacks to take oil wells and pumping stations offline. These will take away a major funding source for ISIS. So this looks like it may be a stepping up of airstrikes. Most military experts state that what we have been doing as far as airstrikes so far has been little more than a pinprick of what needs to be done to rein in ISIS. Carter went on to allude to the special new forces team as it may be forces that will fly in to attack ISIS targets. Alongside Iraqi troops, they'll do this. The goal being they want ISIS to not be able to sleep at night, not knowing if troops will be knocking on their doors to search them out. So this sounds a little like a small escalation of actual troops on the ground. No numbers have been provided. Carter says the details and specifics of this effort will not be disclosed. To do so would put our forces at risk. This is appropriate as the White House has been criticized in the past as disclosing too many details of when and how we would be attacking the enemy. There were even reports that before we would attack certain targets, that we would announce the attack to allow citizens to get out of the way of the strike. Critics added that the warning also would allow ISIS enemy to get out of the way as well. So that's the latest from our Defense Secretary Carter. In immigration control news, the AP is reporting that American lawmakers voted overwhelmingly Tuesday to impose restrictions, making it more difficult for visitors to Iraq, Syria, and countries listed as supporting terrorism to travel visa-free to the United States. The House of Representatives voted 407 to 19 in support of the Visa Waiver Program Improvement Act of 2015. This is a bill backed by the White House in the aftermath of the deadly attacks in Paris that were conducted by extremists who could have traveled to America without a visa. It would bar people who traveled after March 1, 2011 to Iraq and Syria, as well as Iran and Sudan, from participating in the visa-free program. It will require the use of electronic passports for all participating countries and call for those countries to share more intelligence data on terror and criminal suspects. In an abundance of caution, we will now require those individuals to apply for a visa and go through the formal visa screening process, said House Republican Candace Miller, the bill's main sponsor. 20 million visitors annually use the program, which allows them to stay in the country for up to 90 days and provides a boon to the U.S. economy. Yet no amount of economic stimulation is worth risking the lives of our constituents, said House Judiciary Committee Chairman Bob Goodlatte. Recent events around the world necessitate changes to the visa program in order to help ensure its safety. U.S. officials say about 5,000 Europeans, including many from visa waiver nations, have traveled to Syria and Iraq to fight with extremist groups like the Islamic State and pose an enhanced risk to the United States. Congressional leaders state that this new policy could be attached to the spending bill still due for approval this month. Along with Trump's controversial call for controlling the Muslims we allow into the U.S., we got word that his visit to Israel is still on. Israeli politicians have called for a planned visit by U.S. Republican presidential frontrunner Donald Trump to be blocked due to his call for a ban on Muslims entering the United States, which has raised an international outcry. A government official, however, confirmed that the meeting between Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Trump would take place on December 28th after being set up 2 weeks ago. Sources close to the right-wing Netanyahu said he does not agree with everything said by U.S. candidates. With Israel and the United States being close allies, and Netanyahu widely seen as supportive of the Republicans against Democrat U.S. President Barack Obama, Trump may hope his visit will bolster his foreign policy credentials ahead of the U.S. election in November of 2016. In Ridgecrest news, the Media and Art Committee met yesterday to consider approval of 2 more pieces of artwork for the China Lake Median Project. The first one considered is being sponsored by the Friends of the Library. The artwork was built by Milt Burford. It is a 6-foot 7-inch tall metal structure depicting petroglyphic art from the base. The only modification is the library had a book inserted into the piece of the artwork for the library's purpose. This piece was approved unanimously. The second piece of art is one sponsored by Joanne Bell Trust. This will be a huge rock structure. Artist Olaf Dowd described it as almost 10 feet tall and weighing in at 6,500 pounds. Wow, that's a big one. It is a depiction of petroglyphic animals at a watering hole in the desert. The design was collaboration between Dowd and sponsor Joanne Bell. Olaf states that when the rock gets here, the 2 of them will work together to finalize the actual design on the rock before he starts cutting it. This piece was also approved unanimously by the committee. The 2 decisions will now go to the Planning Commission for approval. Matthew Alexander said that while it is going to the Planning Commission, he is simultaneously submitting it to the Caltrans so they can start their formal approval process. Matthew told the committee that there are still some unsponsored sites available. If anyone or a business would like to sponsor a piece of petroglyph art to be on China Lake Boulevard, contact him at 760-499-5063. Stay tuned for news out of the Kern County Sheriff's Office when we come back. Thanks for staying with us. In theft protection news, both Kern County Sheriff Donnie Youngblood and Ridgecrest Police Chief Ron Strand offer tips to help reduce package theft. This is the time of year that people are receiving a lot of packages by postal, UPS, and FedEx deliveries. With more and more people shopping online, there are more and more deliveries. Would-be criminals are using these deliveries as an opportunity to profit. They just cruise around neighborhoods looking for packages left by the front door. Many of the deliveries do not require a person to actually receive them, so the shipper just leaves them at the address. Law enforcement advises that people should provide directions to the shippers of a place to leave the package that is not visible from the street. It is also advisable to use a neighborhood watch program to keep watch over your area. If you don't have a neighborhood watch, you can start one. Just contact either the police department or the sheriff's department for details. Both departments encourage people to always report suspicious activities when you see them. While most of the time the suspicious activity really isn't criminal in nature, you just never know what is going on. Your report could provide the police department the ability to apprehend a burglar or worse. The bad guys are always out there looking for a way to victimize us, so be vigilant. Keep your eye out for your neighbors. With our help, the police can make this a great place to live. Remember, report suspicious activity. Call Ridgecrest Police Department at 760-449-5100. And of course, in an emergency, always use 911. Last Saturday, the Great Strides Walk brought out about 300 walkers to raise funds for finding a cure for cystic fibrosis. The walk was done at the athletic field at Saracosa Community College. The walk raised a whopping $40,000. That is huge. Walk coordinator Tina Frisbee stated that there are hundreds of walks held every year across the country. The Ridgecrest Walk is the last one of the year for the national organization. Since 2007, the local walk has raised over $295,000. Job well done, folks. In news from China Lake, we get this story about College of Test Evaluation Graduates Cohort 5 by Stacy Bailey from the NOC-WD Public Affairs Office. She writes that on December 2nd, the Naval Air Warfare Center Weapons Division Integrated Systems Evaluation, Experimentation, and Test Department graduated 24 participants of the college and Test and Evaluation Cohort 5 at China Lake. I found Cohort 5 to be an amazing training experience provided by the organization, graduate Kathy Gonzalez said. I feel that the knowledge I gained will enhance my skill set for the testing and evaluation community. Overall, it was a wonderful and great opportunity to network with peers, other project managers, and lead test engineers. The program was developed in response to the April 2008 Charting Our Course strategic plan signed by commanders and executive directors of the weapons and aircraft divisions. It was created to provide a comprehensive test and evaluation professional development program that enables accelerated technical excellence through structured knowledge and learning. It is mandatory for all new air engineers. Offering more than 210 courses, core training consists of an introduction to the Navy and Naval Air Systems Command environments in which the new flight test engineers will operate. In flight test basics, other testers learn the basics of flight test and the fundamentals necessary to perform effectively and safely in the T&E environment, and test planning and test reporting exploring NavAir instructions and handbooks, associated references, processes, and the products required to plan, document, analyze, and report the results of a flight test. Congratulations to the 24 graduates. In news about our State Senator Gene Fuller, the California School Board Association has announced that they have honored Senate Republican leader Gene Fuller of the Outstanding Legislator of the Year at their annual Legislative Network Luncheon in San Diego. Senator Fuller has long been a champion of education. Prior to being elected to the state legislature, she served as superintendent of the largest K-8 school district in California. Throughout her career as an educator and currently as a legislator, Senator Fuller has worked tirelessly to promote access to quality education for all California students. The award luncheon was held Friday, December 4th, at the Marriott Marquis Hotel in San Diego. Our congratulations goes out to Senator Fuller for getting this award. Again, she is our state senator that represents us in Sacramento. In local Christmas parade news, we get this announcement. Santa's coming, Santa's coming. When you ask? There will be a Christmas parade again this year. The Ridgecrest Elks Club 47th Annual Christmas Parade is coming this weekend. It will be held this Saturday, December 12th. Lineup starts at 9 a.m. and the parade starts at 10 a.m. The parade route is west on Las Flores, south on Norma, east on Ridgecrest Boulevard, and north on Boston Street. All parade participants are instructed to report to the sign-up station on Las Flores to get their spot assignment. If you watch the parade, we suggest you get out early to get the best spots. Once the roads are closed around the parade route, access gets difficult. The weather report for Saturday is nice and sunny. It will be quite cool at the lineup time, but the high for the day is predicted to be almost 60 degrees. For those driving around Ridgecrest, they should be aware of these road closures Saturday morning. Put this on your calendar, so come on, watch the parade. Santa will be arriving in this parade. And in other Santa news, Santa's North Pole headquarters has announced that Santa will be visiting All to One Credit Union right here in Ridgecrest this Friday. He'll stop by the corporate offices at 701 South Charlie Boulevard from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. in the afternoon. They have said that he will be available for pictures and to visit with the kids. Again, this Friday, Santa will visit the All to One Credit Union from 3 to 5 p.m. Bring your kids in to visit with him. Now, in KZGN's continuous effort to provide news and information you've asked for, here are today's gas prices for Ridgecrest and some surrounding areas. As of this morning, Ridgecrest is ranging from $2.67 to $2.99. Lancaster from $2.65 to $2.99. The LA Valley area $2.55 to $2.79, and the Bishop area $2.73 to $2.91. We have 3 stations coming in at the $2.67 figure. Tune in Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays for updates. We at KZGN always suggest you shop locally to support our local economy. Remember, when you pay sales tax out of town, you're helping those cities pave their streets instead of here. Now stay with us for weather and sports when we come back. Thanks for staying with us. And now here's Lane with weather.
Thank you, Tom. From the National Weather Service, heavy rain will continue to bring a threat of flash flooding to parts of the Pacific Northwest and Northern California on Wednesday as a series of storms moves across the area. In addition to the heavy rain, mountain snow and strong winds are forecasted across the region. Temperatures across the nation. Carolinas at 63, Georgia at 65, Arkansas at 70, Northern Texas at 67, Arizona at 68, and Los Angeles at 70. And for us locally, tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 41, west-southwest wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday, a 30% chance of rain, partly sunny with a high near 69, southwest wind 15 to 20 miles per hour with gusts as high as 30. Thursday night, a 30% chance of showers, mostly cloudy with a low around 42, west-southwest wind 20 miles per hour with gusts as high as 30. Friday, a 20% chance of showers, partly sunny with a high near 57, west-southwest wind 15 miles per hour with gusts as high as 20. Friday night, mostly clear with a low around 32, west-northwest wind 10 miles per hour with gusts as high as 15. And Saturday, sunny with a high near 57, west wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. And that is your forecast for the IWV. Now back to Tom.
Thanks, Lane. And now here's Tom Heck with sports.
And a very pleasant Wednesday, late afternoon, early evening to everyone. Let's talk about local sports. Last night, Burroughs High School basketball, the girls in action. They defeated Tehachapi. They won that game by 15 points. They played very well. They actually had a 30-point lead at one time in that game. The JV team also won. Burroughs now with a 3-3 record so far in non-conference. Tonight, it'll be Burroughs playing at home against a very good Palmdale team. JVs play at 4:30 and the varsity at 6 o'clock. All right, don't forget this weekend up at Saracoso, starting tomorrow actually, some Thursday night games. It'll be the local teams in action, then all day Saturday with regional teams. That'll be girls junior high tournament. All right, take a look at the NBA last night. Cleveland over Portland. LeBron James 33 points in that game. Golden State now 23-0. 23-0, best start ever for an NBA team. They defeated Indiana in Indianapolis last night, 131-123. Sacramento a winner last night. They beat Utah. Orlando downs Denver. Orlando off to their best start in a while. They're 12-9 right now. Oklahoma City over Memphis, and Brooklyn beats Houston. And Houston now 10-12. All right, Thursday night football coming up. The Vikings 8-4 against the Cardinals 10-2. Cardinals pretty much on the verge of clinching a playoff spot. Minnesota fighting for their playoff lives. Over in the AFC, taking a look at the standings real quick. In the East, the Patriots are 10-2. The Jets 7-5. Jets on that wild card bubble. In the North, Cincinnati 10-2. Pittsburgh 7-5. They also on that bubble. And down south, the Colts 6-6 and the Texans 6-6. Someone's going to have to win that league. And out west, Denver 10-2, Kansas City 7-5, also on the bubble. Tomorrow we'll look at the NFC East standings. In the top 20 college basketball last night, one game, Montana losing to Gonzaga. Montana played them tough out of the Big Sky Division. Gonzaga wins that game by 3 points by a score of 78-75. College football Saturday, the annual Army-Navy game. Throw the records out the window, always a lot of fun. Navy 9-2, great season. They'll be in a pretty big bowl game. And then Army, 2 wins and 9 losses. They will not get a bowl game this year. All right, tomorrow we'll look at a few of the bowl games coming up. Next week we hope to have Justice Scott and myself sit down and break down some of those bowl games for you as the holiday season starts to get into full swing here with all the college football games going on. Lakers in action tonight. They're in Minnesota. They'll try to stop a 3-game losing streak and look for their 4th win of the year. That's your sports for this Wednesday afternoon. I'm Tom Heck for KZGN.
So that's the news for today. All of us at KZGN-TV know you have a choice in what you watch for your news. We thank you for choosing KZGN-TV, Ridgecrest's only locally owned community TV station. Now stay tuned for Ridgecrest Talk. Oh, did you get a chance to see the sunrise this morning? It was beautiful. Check it out on this viewer-submitted video from this morning.